Sorry, the standard for men just got raised.
Again? You mean an already long list of standards of modern women who have pretty much nothing to offer in return except for you know what that can also be easily purchased has just gotten even longer? How exciting.
I went on a date last night. He's just gonna see this, and that's what makes it all the more funny.
And by funny, you mean sad, right? Because what you're just about to expose really should have been kept private. But sorry and interrupted. You, a very average looking girl at best, went on a first date. Go on.
I'm going on a girls trip in like 2 weeks for my birthday, and he was like, oh, what are you doing for your birthday? And I was like, oh, nothing, I'm going on a girls trip.
Okay, so a guy who went on the very first date with a very average girl is asking what you want for your birthday already. Okay, a little simpy, but go on.
And he was like, give me your phone.
Simpy and creepy.
Takes my phone, opens my Venmo, scans my fucking Venmo thing, and Venmos me $300 with the caption, so men don't buy you drinks in Miami. That is literally insane.
That is literally insane. I agree. It is insane that a guy who went on his first date with you is, one, has to put a holding deposit on a girl just so he may see her again. Secondly, that he actually thinks that she will take the money from him and not take the money from all kinds of dudes in Miami on a girls' trip. And at the very least, take their money. And three, and this goes for over 90% of men in America and Europe, that this guy feels that he has so little to offer that even an average girl, the only way this average girl would see any value in him is if he pays her off. I mean, by his own admission, he is saying that he is not worth anything except for cash in his pocket. And that is pretty sad. American men need to either man up and improve themselves, so average girls like this would know that they're lucky to even be talking to a guy that actually has value, rather than having to start a meter every time a new guy shows up. Until then, you're going to be limited to having to pay off very average women who will give you pretty much nothing in return for this over and over and over again.
But why do I love it?
Oh, that's because you are a prostitute. And don't worry, most Western women are, and I don't blame them. That is very easy to take money from these simps simply for your time or just for existing. I call it Prostitution 2.0, where women don't even have to put the high heels and miniskirts on and walk up and down the street winking at the Oldsmobiles passing by. No, they don't have to do that anymore. That's the prostitution classic. The new 2.0 prostitutes take their payments via Venmo, and they don't even have to provide those same services because these simps will literally pay the money for nothing, like in this case. And by the way, the chances of her ever seeing him ever again are slim to none, and if it did happen, most likely he had to pay more and more and more money, most likely never getting what he really wanted. Even the most high-value men in America and Europe cannot compete with these simps and the number of them. They just can't. The high-value men would never give money to a woman like this up front, would never drive to meet her or go out of their ways to do really anything until a woman proves to that high-value man that she's worth his time and money. How can you compete with guys who are willing to throw cash at the girl just so they're still being considered 10 minutes later? If you have any value as a man in America or any Western country, and you do not want, because you can't, compete with these simps for the basic chicks with high standards, your only choice, besides just stop dating women altogether, is to do what I have done and quite a few other men, which is ditch these women and these simps that enable them and move to another country that still has traditional values, traditional women who actually want marriage, want family. And if you want to at least consider that, consider changing your life for the better, and not just for your dating life. Believe me, these countries are absolutely amazing. You will never miss America, just like I don't. Go to themillionmenproject.com. That's where I have outlined every single step of the way of things that you need to do in order to escape your country and modern women. Pick the country that is right for you, and then essentially change your life.